Hello and welcome to the viewers of this video. This is the Orange Fan here, bringing you another entry for the episode recap and thoughts category. This video will be dedicated to the A segment of episode 14 of The Loud House, Toads and Tiaras. We begin this segment with Lincoln actually helping Lola for one of her upcoming pageants. The reason behind this, as he reveals when he talks to the audience, is that the prize for this particular pageant will be 2 season passes to Dairy Land, the amusement park that was mentioned back in Intense Debate. And the prize would go to the winner and the coach of the winner. So naturally, Lincoln was jumped at the chance to be a pageant coach, and to his credit, he's been very dedicated to the role. Unfortunately, though, things take a turn for the worse when Lola accidentally trips during one of the training processes, leaving one of her legs broken and in a cast, so she has to drop out of the pageant. Lincoln is bummed out about this, and he's cleaning up the items and props that were left behind in the yard. But then Lana happens to pick up one of the props, a crown, and she's planning to use it for something differently, but then as Lincoln puts the crown on Lana's head, he realizes, given their status as twin sisters, Lana could actually take Lola's place in the pageant, and he asks Lana to take Lola's place, promising one of the 2 season passes for Dairyland, and he even mentions that Dairyland has a new ride, the Milkshaker, and this very much convinces Lana to go along with the plan and to take part if it means getting to go on Dairyland's newest ride. So we spend the next couple of scenes are dedicated to Lincoln helping Lana to look similar to Lola, at least, because while it's not in the traditional pigtails she usually has, they do change up Lana's hair. It doesn't look exactly like Lola's hair, but it's still a fancy looking hairstyle, at least. At least to me it looks kind of fancy. And we do see Lincoln following the advice in a book by a guy named Gil DeLilly, whose advice all rhymes. But yeah, his rhyming advice is meant to help with pageants, and that's what Lincoln's been following as he helps Lana around with it. And soon enough, it seems like Lana is ready to take Lola's place in the pageant. So the day of the pageant comes around, and Lincoln and Lana arrive, and then they notice a cameraman there. Lincoln admits he wasn't aware that it would be broadcast on TV, but then he decides that there's nothing to worry about because they don't have the Princess Channel, only for us to cut back to the Loud House, where we found out that Lola managed to convince Mr. Loud to install the Princess Channel for them, and Mr. Loud is upset that they couldn't get the sports channel. But as he goes off, Lola happens to watch the pageant that she would have competed in. The pageant introduction is done by the host, Donnie Dufresne, voiced by Matty Taylor, previously known as Matthew Taylor, and he introduces the contestants, and he introduces Lola? Naturally, this surprises Lola, but then she quickly pieces together that Lincoln and Lana are the ones behind this, and when Lana starts to demonstrate some of her usual antics, Lola fears that they will ruin her reputation as a pageant contestant, and she angrily marches off to where the pageant is taking place. But given that she has a broken leg and it has a crutch that she has to walk on, it's going to take her a while to get there. On the plus side, though, Mr. Loud gets the sports channel now. So as we go on with the pageant, we do see Lana trying to keep in mind the advice that Lincoln got from Gil DeLilly's information and advice related material, but then she shows actions that demonstrate what Lana really is like, and At first, though, Lincoln's a little aggravated by it and worried that they won't win the tickets this way. But then suddenly, even Lana starts to think something is wrong with her. And then we do get to meet another one of her exotic pets, a frog named Hops, because that was the latest of the lines of Lana's antics, and Lincoln fearing it would cost them the tickets. But then, when Lana thinks something is wrong with her and Hops gives a shaking head of disapproval, Lincoln does realize that he may have gone a little too overboard caring about the season passes, and in a rather touching moment, he does try to cheer Lana up. Even though Lincoln is encouraging her and she does appreciate it, she still wonders why she can't be like the other pageant contestants or like Lola. But Lincoln assures her that Lana Loud is Lana Loud, and no one can be Lana Loud better than her. But when the last performance, or the last phase of the pageant is about to begin, Lincoln encourages Lana to demonstrate her own talent rather than trying the one that they've been practicing. Lana asks again, thinking that they may not win the tickets this way, but Lincoln's okay with that. He's made his peace with it. And so Lana does something that's very Lana-like, and Hops even lends a hand in it. But as that's going on, Lola manages to finally make it to the pageant area, and she manages to pin Lincoln against the wall, and she's got the fangs in her teeth, and angrily declaring how they've ruined her reputation. But then they hear applause, as Lincoln points out to Lola, which calms her, but also surprises her. It turns out Lana did win the pageant after all. And as she returns to Lincoln, she sees Lola there and is scared out of her mind, understandably so. But Lola actually takes it quite well. She's not happy with the plan that Lincoln and Lana had, but she says she can respect a winner. And because Lana had won the pageant and Lincoln helped her win it, then she can respect that. And she decides that they've earned not just the crown, but also the season passes as well. And Lincoln and Lana are excited about it and are thankful that Lola was quite forgiving about it. And the segment ends with Lincoln and Lana trying the milkshaker out for the first time as they've made it to Dairy Land. Now, overall, I did enjoy this segment. It was interesting to note that the twins were actually the only Loud sisters that appeared in it, so it did give us more time to focus on the sisters who were important in this segment, Lana and Lola. And I guess you could say Lana was actually more so the focus than Lola, since she was impersonating Lola throughout the procedure, but Lola was still important nonetheless. And it was definitely a good show of Grey Griffin's talent, since she voices both the twins and she gives them distinct voices, so it was pretty funny hearing Lana imitating Lola and it not sounding exactly like Lola. So great job, Grey Griffin. You did a very good job with that. And yeah, it was a nice moral too. I don't think they were portrayed in too bad of a light. Like, it was showing, like, yes, they made mistakes, but they aren't irredeemable either, because yeah, Lincoln did get a little carried away with winning the tickets, but he learned his lesson, and he even helped to encourage Lana. And it was shown that it wasn't necessarily just Lincoln trying to persuade her to follow Gilda Lily's advice that got to Lana, but Lana herself just even wondered why she couldn't be like the other pageant contestants. So it was shown that it was also a concern on her own part too, not just on Lincoln either, but Lincoln was able to help her, cheer her up, and assure her that her being her is what really matters. And it was a nice, heartwarming moment as well. And it was also nice that we did get to see Lola's nicer side. I mean, she was understandably upset about what happened, but she didn't go full-on vindictive mode on them and actually took it surprisingly well. And it was nice to see that too, because Lola does have a bit of a reputation among certain fans for not being thought of in the best of lights, we'll say. She's probably one of the sisters with the most unflattering of reputations, if not the most unflattering of reputations. So seeing her actually act pretty level-headed and even-tempered was a nice showcase of Lola. And once again, it does show Lola may have a bit of a temper on her, but it's not like she's always gonna blow up and resort to the most absolute anger. So that was a nice touch too. I did like that. And it was also I did like that we got to revisit Dairy Land, since it was nice to hear about that. Like, I liked it when we first heard about it back in Intense Debate, because it kind of gave us a little better understanding of life in Royal Woods, and the fact they brought it back was a nice touch. It wasn't just part of the conflict of Intense Debate, which, well, yeah, like I said, that wasn't one of my favorite segments. So it was nice to see they actually did bring it back for another case, and we actually got to see Dairyland. Maybe not the entire park, but still a nice touch all the same. Maybe one day we'll get a segment that actually explores Dairyland in greater detail. I mean, we do get a couple of it here and there, but I'd like to see a segment that takes place entirely at Dairyland, now that I think about it. But there you have it. I thought this was a good segment. It was a nice showcase for both the twins, and, well, everyone learned something important out of it, and it was handled well executed, so good on my book, no complaints here. And as to be expected, we'll cover the B segment next. Take care, and until next time.